Good evening, vapors. This is Cass. Today I am back at you with another 5 juice review. Today's juice review is from a company called Binary Juices. Now, they were kind enough to send me a sample of their entire range for me to try and for me to make this video for you guys. So I'd like to thank Nick at Binary Liquids for sending these juices my way for review. Let's not mess around, let's get straight into the review today and move on to our very first juice of the video. Our first juice of the video today is called Byte, B-Y-T-E. I have the bottle here. Now, these all come in this sort of translucent green bottle with the name on the side there. This is a 7426 VGPG mix, and this comes in 2.5, 5, 7.5 and 10 milligrams as well as 0. What do they say about Byte? Now, Byte says, imagine a bowl of cereal-filled crunch berries and Fruit Loops soaking in milk. Pour the flavoured milk out and you have yourself a refreshing cereal e-liquid. Now, we all know that cereal e-liquids or cereal flavoured e-liquids are in the thousands. There's loads of them. I have a couple that I know are my favourites. Let's see how Byte by Binary e-liquids stands up. I'm going to have a vape and I'll let you know my thoughts. That is interesting. It's very fruity. Now, it tastes very similar to a couple of the other e-liquids that are cereal based that I've tried before. The first being Looper by ANML or Animal. The second being Cereal Milk by Kilo, which is quite a popular one. This is very, very nice. The fruits and the berries are definitely present in the flavour on the inhale, and on the exhale you get that milky, cereal-y fruit loopiness that is quite a prominent flavour. I mean, if you smell the liquid itself, that is what you mostly get when you smell it. Let me have one more go on this, and I'll continue what I think of it. It's a very, very enjoyable e-liquid, actually. It's very, very cereal-y, and it's quite similar to a lot of other cereal liquids on the market. I was hoping it would be a little bit different, but it's quite fruity, and a lot of them aren't fruity. You just get that milky cereal nature to it on the in and the out. This one's a lot fruitier than the others. It produces quite thick clouds, and I think you get that from the high VG. Some of them are quite watery flavours. This is not. This is thick, it's fruity, and it's got that classic cereal taste that I'm a big fan of. So there's nothing really wrong with this juice. I really enjoy it. As I didn't mention before, I'm vaping at the moment on my trusty Sigeli 100 watt mod, and I have the dot mod Petri that is being featured in a lot of my videos at the moment. Today's build is a dual tiger wire coil build, and it comes in at about 0.2 ohm, and I'm running it at 75 watts. It's fruity, but it's quite classic flavour. There's a lot of companies out there doing the same thing. These guys have done it well, but it's not anything different to what I would normally expect a cereal to be. Let's move on to our second flavour of the night. Okay, our second flavour of tonight is called Virus. Again, in the translucent green bottle. Now, this one has a different VGPG. This is 7129. I'm not sure why they've got these really exact VGPGs. They're not 7030 or 8020 or even 7525. 7129. What is Virus described as? Virus is described as the perfect combo of sweet mango and pure guava. Seems pretty simple. I mean, it's not a very long description. It smells very, very good. So here we go. Just put a little bit in. A couple of drops there. Let's have a vape, and I will let you know my thoughts on Virus. Okay, so I've put some of this in. I'll let you know my thoughts after I've had a vape. This juice is very strong on that peach. I'm only getting notes of guava on the exhale. On the inhale, it's all peach. On the exhale, you get the sweet notes of the guava coming through, but probably not as much as I'd like. Now, I find the best way to describe an e-liquid is by comparing it to something that somebody else may know. So to me, this reminds me of a juice by a company called Must Vape called Dali, which is essentially a peach yogurt. It's very, very, very sweet. This is very similar. There's a lot of peach and a little bit of guava going on there. It's fruity, it's light, and it's quite clean on the tongue. This would quite happily be an all-day vape. It's not too heavy. I'm going to have another vape of this and let you know what I think about it. See, that time I got a little bit more guava on the inhale, and it was still there on the exhale, but this is a very peach-heavy juice. It was meant to be that way, I'm not sure. Normally when you only have two elements to a juice, you kind of want to have them in equal amounts, and this is very, very much a peach-based juice. Not a lot of guava. Guava is a very sweet, delicate flavour. I possibly would like a little bit more, but I think it's being drowned out by the peaches in this juice. I would recommend this to anyone that's looking for a light all-day vape. So maybe someone who hasn't really experienced premium e-juices before, something that's not too out there, but is still strong and a solid flavour that you're not going to get bored of and that your tongue isn't going to get bored of. But let's move on to juice number 3. Juice number 3 is called Pow. There we go. Again, in these wonderful and actually quite unique translucent green bottles. I like this, quite futuristic. This one is, again, a different VGPG. Now, this is really confusing me as to why all of these are different. I'm surprised they don't keep them the same. This one is actually 7327. What do Binary describe Pow as? Let's have a read and see what they say. Pomegranate infused with watermelon and a secret ingredient to give you a smooth and fruity blend. I'm intrigued as to what this secret ingredient is. I hope I can taste it. Let's have a vape and I'll let you know my thoughts. Again, very heavy on that pomegranate. It's wonderfully, wonderfully sweet. There's a little bit of the watermelon zing on the end of the tongue as I exhale. I'm not sure what that secret ingredient is. If I had to hazard a guess, I would probably say strawberries. I'm getting a little bit of a hint of strawberries in there. Again, a very subtle flavour that can be drowned out by stronger flavours. You know, citrus does it, creams do it. In this case, it's pomegranate that is really taking the lead on this juice. And rightly so, they say it does. I'm getting that hint of watermelon, that kind of watery, fresh taste. Let's give it another 2 and I'll continue my thoughts. Again, this one would go down well as an all-day vape, and the way I define an all-day vape is something that's not too heavy. And by that I mean sickly creams or sweet flavours or anything that's going to be really heavy is not something you necessarily want to vape all day long. Fruit flavours make fantastic all-day vape flavours. This is another one that I think would go really well. You could put it in say a Kanga tank or, you know, whatever your preferred is. This would work really, really well as an all-day vape. It's heavy on that pomegranate, but it's still a light flavour. It's clean, it's crisp, and it's actually really, really enjoyable to vape. I would recommend this again to anyone who's starting out with premium juices. It's fruity, it's wonderful, and it's not going to confuse you. And you're not going to get really that bored of it at all. I'm enjoying that one. I think I might have to come back to that one in a couple of days. Okay, let's move on to juice number 4 out of 5. Juice number 4 is called Siren. There's the Binary logo. Now this one is 7426. So let me just check. This is the same as Bite, so they're not all completely different. Again, 2.5 milligram, that's my preferred. And yeah, 7426 VGPG. This is described as a blueberry raspberry with a unique final ingredient that will surprise you. So again, they've thrown in that surprise ingredient. I wonder if it's going to be the same as the last juice. I think when you say that, it's going to really knock your socks off. Okay, let's have a vape. As you can see, I'm getting quite big clouds out of all of these juices, which means, you know, they're producing wonderfully thick, dense vape. That taste, that combination of the raspberry and blueberry really gives me a hip bubblegum. Whether that's just a combination of those two flavours or that's their surprise final flavour that they've put in there, it's hard to tell. But I really love those blueberries in there. The raspberries aren't too tart, which can really ruin a juice. They've done really well on this one. It's a sweet bubblegum. That's the best way to describe it to you. I'm going to give it one more go and continue. That's a really, really lovely bubblegum flavour. Again, quite sickly, quite sweet. I probably wouldn't all day vape this. I would just have it periodically throughout the day, perhaps, if this is my preferred. Of the 4 juices, Siren, I think, is my least favourite. It's got some nice flavour combinations in there, but the raspberry and the blueberry together giving that bubblegum combination is just a bit too sickly for me, and that's my own personal taste. I know some people that really love those thick, heavy flavours. It's quite clean, and the combination together is quite well done, but it's just not for me. Let's move on to our fifth and final juice of the binary line of juices. Our fifth and final juice is called Array. This one is a fairly rounded off 75-25, and I believe it's the only one in the range that is. If anyone knows why these are such strange combinations of VG and PG, please let me know. So what do Binary describe Array as? A complete mix of 5 extracts that give you a sweet and sour blend that gives you the all-day vape that you want. Now, so they actually describe this one as an all-day vape. Let's see if it will meet those criteria. I'll have a vape and I'll let you know my thoughts. It's hard to say with this one. That could possibly be an all-day vape. They describe it as sweet and sour. Now I'm getting a little bit of sweet and I'm getting a little bit of sour, but it's not blowing the senses. It's just a little bit of both. It's almost like a half-finished juice to me. I'm getting some sweet fruit flavours through, and I'm getting some of those soury notes that you might get on a similar slushy kind of flavour. But to me, it's just a little bit bland for my tastes. I can taste some of the sweet, I can taste some of the sour. Let's have another vape and I'll let you know some more thoughts on it. Again, nothing really hits through on that. On the inhale, it's kind of thick and fruity. On the exhale, you get a little bit of that sour, but nothing really lasts on the taste buds. I probably wouldn't use this as an all-day vape personally. I can see why some would. It's not too sickly, but for me it's just not flavoursome enough that I could vape it all day without it losing its flavour. Binary have some fantastic juices here. I think my favourite probably is the Bite, which is the cereal milk flavour, but the last flavour I tried doesn't quite match up to the levels of flavorsomeness, that is a word, that I'd personally want in an all-day vape. These flavours are fairly solid, but there's just a couple that let down. The Array, the 5 extracts that give you the sweet and sour, that one is just a bit complex. I'm not really getting a hit of anything in particular there. And the Siren, the blueberry and raspberry, that's just a bit too sweet and thick for my personal tastes. And it's just kind of another bubblegum flavour, would that be fair to say? I think so. Thank you so much for watching. I'd like to thank Nick at Binary Liquids for sending these over to me for review. I really appreciate that. That's helping out me and the channel a lot, because without the juices, we wouldn't have any reviews. Thank you again. Remember to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, share it around, hit the like button, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.